Oh, super fade out. Wow, special. Sorry guys, I'm sharing a photo of you guys. I hope you don't mind it. I mind. Totally just took a picture of you guys. Hello! I just have to say, we were just commenting, let me pull this up here. We were just commenting the fact that God bless you for getting up at 11, getting here at 11 o'clock. I know some of you were at some parties last night. I was following some of you on Twitter. So thank you for coming. Beyond humbled that you guys made it out. Thank you so much. This is yes. This is why it's awesome being a female in the gaming industry. Yes, so topic for today, the gaming industry gets bigger and bigger every year. Every single year. And you ever wonder how we got here and assumed some sort of position in a male-dominated industry? You guys have any questions? We're going to have questions afterwards. We're also...
I have a question, just because since we're in like Cardassian interrogation land, I can't actually see all of you that well. Show of hands, how many of you identify as female?
Yes.
Okay, welcome.
Welcome. How many men are here?
Whoa! Yeah! I know some of you.
Thank you for supporting your sisters. Oh. Thank you. That's right.
You got it.
So, welcome again. We can start the first slide. Just so you guys know, we're going to go with quick introductions. I am Diana, the community manager for a site called DualShockers, DualShockers.com. So a little bit about myself, just so you know who the hell I am and why do I have a right to be up here, is that I started about 8 years ago with a little show called Game Reaction, worked my way up, did a lot of stuff on the side, come into events, excuse me, I'm nervous. I have a right to, ooh.
Okay, hang on. Everybody guys, okay. We got some nerves up here, so here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're all going to take an inhale.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And we'll exhale.
Exhale.
Safe space, everybody welcome. It's all cool, no judgment.
No judges, no judges.
All right.
Started with Gamer Reaction, moved up, whatever, did a whole bunch of stuff. Now I'm here in front of you guys and I'm honored. Yes. Worked my ass off and I'm very proud of it. And next person, Susan, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm never living down that photo. Hi, my name is Susan Arndt. I am currently managing editor of Joystick. I've been writing professionally about video games for about 8 years. Before that, I was doing it for a volunteer site for something like 5 or 6. I've lost count, honestly. I'm sorry. I'm bad at math. I started at Wired, and then I went to The Escapist. I ended up as editor-in-chief of The Escapist. And like I said, now moved on to being managing editor of Joystick. I'm also the co-founder of TakeThis.org, a charity dedicated to helping increase awareness, education, and empathy of mental health issues in the gaming community.
Yes. Tatiana, if you want to talk about yourself a little bit.
Hello, I'm Tatiana. You may know me as the former managing editor of 2dx.com and now the editor-in-chief of AskTatiana.com. I started out actually as just a regular GameStop employee, and I loved games and I loved writing, so I wanted to combine those things. Started off at a local site called Digital Brawler, and now I'm here speaking in front of you guys. And thank you so much for coming here. It's really awesome to see an equal ratio of both men and women here.
Amen.
To come soak in the positivity. So thank you guys.
Karen, you want to talk about yourself?
All right. Hi everyone, I'm Karen Rivera. I'm the managing editor of Pixelitis. Nice to see you all here. Thank you so much for coming. Really quick, I've been involved, I guess, with Pixelitis. Our 3rd year anniversary is coming up in a few months. Started off with one of my best friends in college. This is actually the second iteration of our attempt to get on a gaming website. We both worked together. Hi, Andrew. I'm talking about you. We worked together on our college newspaper and decided, what the heck, we love video games, we want to write about them, and kind of had a really wonderful Twitter baptism by fire when our site started. I was at a party, I ended up talking to a big actress, some of you might know her, Olivia Munn. It happened, it was really random, and she's like, so what are you doing? And I was like, oh, well, I just started this site called Pixelitis, and she's like, cool, let me tweet it out. And I text my friends being like, hey, so Olivia Munn just tweeted out our site, and he's like, oh my god, we're not ready yet. And so, lo and behold, Pixelitis started. 3 years strong, we've got a really good staff, and I'm really proud of what we've done. And that's about it.
May, you want to talk about yourself?
Me. Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry, can you hear me? Yeah? I'm short. I can't. Alright. So, my name is Megan Garcia, and I am Senior Games Producer for Nickelodeon and Addicting Games. I head creative development as well as design and concept original games for both sites. I started out doing QA and pretty much just worked my way up. I have a weakness for bulldogs and obsession with cupcakes. Thank you.
There are two short people on the show. My name is Sarah LaBeouf. I got my start writing about video games in 2007. I was hired full-time at a site that no longer exists, but I worked there for 3 years, and I used that time to build a reputation, to learn as much as I could, and to make contacts in the industry, and I was able to translate that into a freelance career after I lost that job. So now I'm a freelance writer. I write for a lot of gaming and geek culture sites. I also write news regularly for The Escapist, and you also might see me doing reviews and previews and PAX coverage there. And I'm also a board member of TakeThis.org.
The beauty of the women on this panel is that we all come from different backgrounds, and we all bring a lot to the table, which I think is really awesome. So, what is the point of this panel? We wanted to bring positivity to the gaming community. It was very important to us to really to talk about that, and because I feel like, I know me personally, I speak for myself when I say that I am just so exhausted. Incredibly exhausted by every single, it seems like there's a controversy almost every single day out there, and I think we just wanted to sort of, say, hey, guys, you want to work in gaming, it's okay? Like, don't be scared. Like, nobody's gonna be like, you can't be here. Nobody's gonna like criticize you, or, well, some people are gonna criticize you, but who gives a shit, really? I mean, like, so that's what we wanted to do. That's what we were here for. We're here to bring the positive and talk about that. Does anyone want to sort of just go from there?
No one is going to be Gandalf and say, you shall not pass, because quite frankly, you can also start up, there are plenty of places that are always looking to, hear voices, and everyone has an opinion. Sometimes it's a little harder to get your voice out there, but it doesn't mean it's any less important, and we want to highlight that, especially for women, there's a lot of us here in the industry, and I know that emphasizing the fact that there are lots of people here who will pick you up or even be there to, bounce questions off of. We can be your soundboard if you think that there's anything going on and you're like, yo, I just want to know, is this cool? Is this not cool? We're here for that.
Yeah, totally. The important thing is about empowering, and that you are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. Why are we doing this?
I was actually just going to say, like, on the point of the panel and kind of bouncing off Karen, is that this industry is actually a lot smaller than you think, and we all kind of know each other. There's actually a lot of you in this audience right now that I consider my family and very close friends, and you shouldn't be scared. If you want to get in whatever angle you can, do it, whether it's QA, media, production, design. you will always have some sort of support system, someone to go to, and someone, like Karen said, to go, hey, yo, is this cool? What should I do? And if any of you are out there right now thinking, should I do this? Should I really step into this industry? If you have a dream, go for it. Do not let anything hold you back.
One of the reasons why I wanted to do this panel is because based on, if you're just sitting there as a fan, which by the way, I was in your chair not that long ago. Okay, not like your specific chair, but like a chair very much like that one, and I decided this is something I wanted to do for a living, and I ended up doing it. If you, read, if you are that person, then you're reading game sites, you're on Twitter, you are tapped into the space, and if you're a female looking to get into this industry in any capacity, you might think you need to be angry. You might go into this like, am I supposed to be pissed off? Like, if I write about something, if I think it's cool, is that bad? Because that's a lot of the current voice you see right now is, this sucks, and sexism this, and predator that. And there's a difference between taking issue with things and thinking things need to change and just constantly being pissed and looking for a fight. You can have issues with these things. You can want to change these things. You can say, that's not good enough, and yet still come at that from a place of positivity. So I wanted to come out, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this panel is talk about it's okay to want to have conversations as opposed to fights. Like if you're fired up about something, rock on, that is great, that is passion. But just constantly being, I'm ready to, like in hockey, like you throw the gloves off, you're ready. It is exhausting, and you will, yeah, hockey reference, yeah, sports. I can do that, what? That it is possible to still want these things to change and to still find these things important and yet come at, effecting that change from a place of positivity.
Yeah. Because I think it's important, and again, I speak for myself, that it's about the equality of it. I mean, the ideal world is that, we'll be equal, but we also have to remember to respect each other. We're all in this together, man. Like, if you're, like, there's no reason to put anybody down. Like, what's the point? Like, we all bring opinions to the table. We're all intelligent, opinionated, smart people. Why is it necessary for us to sort of put each other down? Not just, it's
not so much putting each other down as trying to shut each other down.
There you go.
Exactly.
Like it is okay. What my goal is for the one thought, if I manage to get you to come away from this with one thought, it is to engage in conversation to attempt to understand your opponent's point of view. Whether or not you end up agreeing, that's something else, man. You may never agree on the points of view, but we talk at each other a lot. A lot of what passes for discussion about a lot of the topics that address females in this industry is actually people just waiting their turn to speak. They're not listening. They're just waiting for you to stop so they can start, right? So it would be to try and understand someone else's point of view so that then they can understand your point of view and actually discuss and have conversations and move from that point.
Had some of the best conversations in my life in this industry. Like if look around in your community, we're all from different places. I'm from California, a lot of you are from the East Coast, like and everywhere in between. Look for like meetups, gamer like little mini conventions. It doesn't have to be big like PAX, and just go and have fun conversations and see different points of view. I mean, when you sit together with developers and artists and media people, they all have different opinions, but it's the best when you can just sit and just voice your opinions, not get shut down, and you'll really learn a lot that way. So I mean, it's really about being positive and seeing that, although you have a really strong opinion about something, and someone else has a strong opinion that completely goes against yours, you're gonna learn a lot from each other if you stay open-minded.
I mean, to bounce off Tatiana's point, you know, the internet is, of course, a series of tubes. Thank you, everyone. But, you know, it's always growing and there's always going to be space. Don't feel like you are going to be shut out just because you don't agree or you have to vehemently disagree with anyone. There's always going to be a space for you, and you know, it takes a little bit of courage. I'm not going to lie. It took a lot of courage for me to even accept the invite to be on this panel, but it's important for everyone. I don't care where you're from, to just know that there's space for you to have a discussion and just be willing to learn and be open. I think that's really, really important, you know.
Well, yeah. I just wanted to, you know, jump on what Tatiana said. Even if you're in an area where there's no meetups and there's really nothing you can do in person, social media is your friend. And there are a lot of editors like Susan who are just constantly giving out free advice to anyone who wants to listen. There's some great tips there. You can reach out to people you admire in the industry and find out more about it. And most people will be really receptive. I mean, there are some who, you know, just don't have time for that sort of thing. But you can make some great connections that way, and you can really learn a lot. You just have to be, you know, open-minded and ready to take advice and criticism.
How do you, kind of to say what you, to go off of that is, so you're sitting in the audience right now, you're saying to yourself, you know what, it's time. I want to do this. What do I do?
Well, it depends on
What do I do?
Depends on what job you want, honestly.
Where do we start? Okay, I want to be a writer.
First, honestly, the single greatest resource for wannabe freelancers, Twitter. Not kidding. I know a great deal of people from Twitter. That is how I get to meet them, because the thing is, when you're pitching as a freelancer, which is the way you will get into most of your employment situations, is by pitching an idea, you know, like, let me do this review, let me do this feature, let me whatever. I get a lot of those, man. Like, my inbox gets a lot of those. So if I can put any kind of additional weight on your name, like, oh wait, I know that guy. Like, we talk about cats on Twitter. Yeah, no, okay. Then that helps me mentally separate you from Strangerville, right? I have commissioned pieces off of Twitter. I have hired people off of Twitter. It is also a great resource for your fellow freelancers to offer support, to offer ideas, to form that kind of community where you can ask each other, like, hey, have you ever had this happen to you? Because it's getting into the industry, there's no guidebook, and no two people did it the exact same way. So there's a lot of floundering around. Starting any new job is terrifying, right? Like, it's like first day of school. You're like, I don't know where the cafeteria is, and where do I sit? And it's really, really scary. And when you're a freelancer, you're doing it out of your house, so you don't have that kind of innate structure of like an office. You don't know anything, you've never done it before. It's very daunting and overwhelming. So being able to have people who are in that same situation, who can say, oh yeah, no, I totally feel you, I know what you're talking about, that happened to me, is very helpful and super supportive. And especially to keep the focus on being female in this industry, look, you are gonna face stuff the dudes won't. It's just a fact, right? Even stuff like, what kind of shoes do I wear to PAX?
Actual thing that happened to me this morning, by the way.
No, these are conversations that we have, right? Because it's like, well, I want to look really nice, but the nice shoes are going to make my feet hurt. The sneakers are the most comfortable, and I've got an 11-hour day coming, but are they going to take me seriously if I want? These are conversations that happen. These are legit concerns that we have happen. Dudes are like, what? I'm wearing my sneakers, I don't care.
I actually met Susan wearing heels at E3, and let me just tell you, that is the last time I ever wore heels. Her first words were, you look really good, but wow.
Seriously, girlfriend is in line for the E3 presser, which is like, that's a 2-hour line, and she's in 3-inch heels. I'm like, no. No. But yeah, by having that network, like, you have that, you try to have that conversation with a male colleague, and they're like, I don't know, yeah. You have it with a female colleague, and you can have that kind of shared You know, I get what you're saying. We can discuss these concerns. And obviously there are, I'm keeping it kind of funny, there are more serious concerns that you will have to deal with as well. So having that kind of support network of people who have been in that space, who have experienced the kind of things you've experienced, super helpful. Because a lot of getting started, no matter whether you want to be a writer, an artist, a programmer, whatever, is dealing with rejection and failure. Because you're not going to be awesome immediately. You're not going to be hired immediately. You are not going to be living the dream immediately. Which is as it should be, because you got to learn. But as you're failing, it's emotional. You know, that's a process that you got to sort of build up your muscles to. And so having that structure to work you through those days, super important, super valuable.
I think you know, I speak. It's you have to kind of hustle. A lot of my early days were hustling, and I primarily for me it was doing video, and it was just like, geez, I had a full-time job, and then I would, you know, leave work and come home and you know, go to bed at like 3 in the morning, and you know, I'd be like, oh man, I just met somebody. Here's my card. Oh, I should send them you know, I formatted thank you emails and said thank you so much for you know, great meeting you. This is like, remember, I also have nerdy. I also had like a picture of myself next to that, so I was like, hey, this is what I look like.
No, that's brilliant.
Really?
That is brilliant. Dude, do you know how many people I meet in a day and give me business cards? And I'm like, who was that?
I was just gonna say the same thing. I remember going to GDC and like going through my cards like, I don't remember you, I don't remember
No,
you.
it's true.
All right, well, okay guys, pro tip, put a picture on
No,
your
that's
card.
freaking genius.
Get an afro. Because my hair doesn't look like that no more. Maybe back in the day. Actually, that was my thing too. I wore pigtails. I wore pigtails a lot and like pink. Do you remember that?
I remember that. Or dye your hair red, that works.
Or dye your hair red. Yeah. Yeah. So like, you know, my thing was I handed out cards. I sent a shit ton of emails, and you know, started to like make my connections in that way, and you know, try to get my business, my product, my brand out there. And that's what you got to do. You got to work, because it doesn't come overnight. You know, like, and then on top of that, you have to deal with the bullshit. And so like, and that's where you start to develop a skin, and you're like, fuck you, I'm just gonna do my thing, and then move on up. You know?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a hustle. Like, if you start out by freelancing, it can be really overwhelming, really exhausting. You have to keep track of what you're pitching, who you're pitching it to, when your deadlines are, when you have to send your invoices, because no one's gonna give a shit if you get paid except you. If
That's
you don't
the
send your
truth.
invoice, like, you're not getting paid, and that's on you. It is a lot to keep track of, and especially if you're also trying to manage a day job. There's a definite balance, and it takes work. It takes a lot of work to deal with that, because it just can be so overwhelming. Like you said, come home from work, do more work. I mean, you know, it's definitely not for everyone, and it's a struggle, but the payoff, in my opinion, is worth it, because, you know, being part of this community, being here at PAX, I'm just so in my element, and I can't imagine doing anything else.
And this is definitely, oh, sorry, do you want to say something?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I really just want to, I mean, because I admire every one of these ladies on the panel. I speak a little bit from a different perspective, where a lot of this is like hitting the ground, running and networking. I mean, not that there's not networking in corporate, but it's a little different. This is my 9 to 5.
Lucky.
I go to bed crying sometimes. So it's hard. But I love what I do. So essentially, yeah, you know, you go to school, and I mean, now though, there's so many programs in you know, programming and game design, like a lot of helpful things. I wouldn't say you necessarily need that as a degree. I think passion is really what takes you, and if you're really driven. So once I graduated, I was working in the fashion industry. Oh snap. But and that was good too, but it just wasn't where my heart was in my stomach. Because it was so stressful, but it wasn't stressful in the way that you love. Like, yeah, this is stressful, but you know, I love what I'm doing. I love the end product. So just one day, they were doing layoffs because they were transitioning over to China, and I volunteered to be laid off. And my boss said, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to make video games. And here and behold, like 6 years later, I'm running a whole team.
Nice.
So
mention,
Yes,
I made a
yes.
big note of myself. We had breakfast this morning.
We did.
What, you know what that was? Yes, breakfast. Yes. This girl, this woman, won an Emmy, guys. Shut up. This woman, right here, she also won a Webby. She has won a Webby and an Emmy. So, don't you dare, and I said, I don't care. Okay.
I mean, just.
I've got 3 Webbies. You got 3 Webbies too? I don't have any though, damn.
I mean, so it's just to say that like if you want it, you can get it. And I mean, just the same way you kind of get in the trenches and work hard on the indie scene and in journalism, same goes for corporate. So once I left there, I literally started doing QA for a small games company and just was like working off of instinct, honestly. You know, some people make a lot of logical decisions. I'm not one of those people. I go by my gut and by my heart. So I would stay someplace getting as much knowledge as I could for about 7 or 8 months. And then once my gut kicked in and said, it's time to keep going, keep pushing, that's pretty much what I did. And then I landed at Nickelodeon. And Nickelodeon and Viacom in general, they're super supportive. And this is just a note to what we were discussing earlier. There are plenty of resources, but there are also a lot of companies that encourage and empower women and minorities as well. Because if nobody knows, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm from Brooklyn. So, I mean,
Bronx. Is there gonna be a rumble? I'm about to start doing jetés, don't mess with me.
I mean, it's hard, like anything else, but it's definitely something that you can achieve and something that's worth it at the end of the day. Like, I love what I do, so.
No, clap for that girl. One of the things I wanted to riff off of something Sarah had said. Here is a truth that doesn't get said a lot in a positive way. You will get opportunities because you are female. Because people desperately want female voices in this space. So you will, and whether you consider that fair, that you are going to get handed something, an opportunity just because you're a chick, whether you discuss that, that's a different conversation. It's what you do with that opportunity that matters. Sarah, so when you go to cover a big show like E3, you double up on hotel rooms because that shit is expensive, right? I was the only woman from The Escapist going, and they had to fill the other half of my room for, you know, they're like, no, if we're gonna hire a freelancer, we gotta hire a girl. First of all, trying to find one, that was tricky. I did not know Sarah. My editor at that time says, look, she comes highly regarded, you're sharing a room with a stranger, she's gonna cover the show for us. Like, okay. So she got that gig because she was a chick, and I needed a chick in a hotel room. It's true, nothing against your girlfriend, but you know, that is why she got that job. She continued to work for me and still does work for me to this day because she blew me the fuck away. She did amazing work. She had a positive attitude. She was dependable. She was reliable. Her copy was good. She gave me everything I asked for and more. And I was like, well, damn, you know, getting the job, that might happen because you're a girl. Keeping the job is on you. Make the most of it.
And don't sell yourself short.
Absolutely.
Either.
Unless you are short.
Unless you are short. Then that's okay.
And this is also an industry where, like Sarah said earlier, you know, being here at PAX, she's in her element. Do not change who you are. Don't make yourself someone you're not because that's what you think you have to do to get in this industry. We're all here because we love gaming, comics, all that fun stuff, and we want to be a part of making that and giving it to people. And don't ever change who you are. Just really let your passion and your love for this industry show, because it's the people that fake it, like that you can tell, you know, when someone writes an article on something that they're not passionate about, or someone creates a game that they couldn't care less about, and you can tell. So just really be who you are and let your individuality and passion show.
There's going to be a lot of people, I remember starting up, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to put you in a box and tell you, you need to be pretty, you need to fix your, I remember, I'm not even going to go there. I need to say about that. But you know, it's like, there are going to be people who tell you, this is what you need to look like in order to get far. And you're like, I don't think that's right. So, don't listen to that. You do what you want to do, and then you will get where you want to go. If again,
That goes both ways, though. Yes, there will absolutely be people who are like, you know, lower the top, you know, push. Yes, you will absolutely get up the sex factor. You will. You will also get a lot of pressure from female counterparts and also, you know, sensitive new age guys. You shouldn't.
Yeah, new age.
Woo! Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you use your sexuality, then you're betraying the sisterhood. Like, you know what? It is a valid career choice. It is one that you need to consider all the ramifications of. But if you want to put yourself out there with that image, that is a valid choice. It works. It is not innately bad. It is not innately shameful. You will be told it is. That is a lie. However you want to do you. Just be thinking about, you know, a year down the line, 5 years down the line, you know? Be okay with the choices you make every single day. Don't be doing it because you think it's what someone wants. Do it because it's what you want.
I actually want to speak to that because I face the opposite. Like, people look at me and they're like, oh, like, you make video games for a living? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, do you play video games? Really? Like, I mean, yeah.
Who you with?
That's what I'm saying. Like, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of people in the audience that, like, I've done, like, indie stuff with, and, you know, when maybe a PR person comes to talk to us, they'll only talk to my male counterpart. They'll assume that I'm there as his eye candy or his tag along. And then he usually, whoever I'm with, has to defer and say, actually, she's the one you're supposed to be talking to. And
She's the one with the pants.
Exactly.
Hey, it might be a skirt. Don't judge. Don't judge the clothes, man.
I just think it's a funny thing when it's like, oh, like you're not pretty enough to be in this industry. Oh, you're too pretty to be in this industry. Yeah, you dress up too much, or you dress down too much. I mean, it's so weird. I mean, no matter what I put on, I guarantee somebody an ass whooping in Street Fighter, no matter what I'm wearing. She could be wearing no pajamas and just still kick your ass, so be wary.
That would be awesome, getting my ass kicked by someone in footy pajamas. That would be amazing. That is the best visual ever.
Yeah, I was just like I said, for some people there's just going to be no winning. There's like, you cannot do anything to please them, no matter how you dress, no matter how you act. Maybe they want you to prove your love for video games, which is just absurd. You don't have to prove your love to anyone. Like, you know, it just is. And I think here, well, we all know at PAX we're in, you know, good company. We all love the same, generally geeky things. But, you know, out in the real world, I get the same things. Like, oh, you write about games? Do you like games? No, I write about them because I hate them. So, yeah, don't worry about the people who are going to say, well, you're not doing this the way I think you should be doing that. Unless it's, you know, your editor, in which case, take that into account. But
Yeah, I was going to say, honey.
You want to say something? And I mean, you always have to think too, though. You're not always going to be 100% comfortable with, you know, what you're doing. And don't be afraid to try different things, do different things.
And the biggest thing is taking courage to step out the front door and just own who you are, because that is probably the most important thing that you will ever learn, is just being comfortable with yourself and knowing how to express yourself in a way that suits you. Screw everyone else who says otherwise. Also, I wore a dress to this panel and I freaking love it.
Yes. And it's always important to never stop learning.
Absolutely.
Never stop learning, because there's always going to be somebody who says, "Do you know how to do this?" And you have to be like, "Yes." Which I have done probably like half of the time. Somebody's like, "Hey, do you know how to code?" I can figure it out, and that's what happened, and and that's actually one of the things that I'm going to start doing is, I went to a panel at IndieCade this past a couple of months ago and saw this fantastic panel about women who code, and I'm like, well, shit, I want to do that now. And so, I'm making a concerted effort to improve myself and to improve like my knowledge, so I can make a game. I want to make a game eventually. I want to be like,
Something similar happened to me. One of the projects I was involved in at PAX, the people in charge were like, "Hey, can you make this PowerPoint?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I don't know how to use PowerPoint. Until like 2 weeks ago when I just figured it out, but I just made it happen. You just like, make it happen.
It's actually, the one she's talking about, it's in the AFK room for Take This in room 203. It's awesome. It's on a slideshow that's running all the time, so check it out.
awesome. Yeah. I have an innate ability that every single game that I went to go cover, I found a bug. It's like I would go, I have no idea how I did it. I think that's like my mutant, latent ability. I'm able to find a bug or two, and they always have to... Do you need a job? Do I need a job? I don't know if I can do that. But I'll do it. I will figure it out. So yeah, it's just so funny how little things, how the life takes you and where you want to go. Because I started out as a theater major. I occasionally burst into song and do things like this and dance. And knock things over. So we're kind of coming up at sort of the question and answer, but before we do that, I want to ask you guys a question. How do we move on from here? Deep question.
How do we move
on from here? How do we get you guys to come and be the next folks who start a panel and spread the positivity and do good things and get out there and be amazing?
Don't assume the person you're disagreeing with is trying to be an asshole. Seriously, that is a lot of people's default move, is this person's being a dick. And they're saying that specifically to piss me off, so I'm gonna fight them. Feminism. Sometimes people are just trying to troll or pick a fight, or they are just genuinely a dick. That does happen. Lots of times, however, and I would say probably most of the time, it's actually just either a not understanding of each other's points of view, it's different perspectives, it's different experiences. Perfect example, a friend of mine was at GDC. GDC, there are the two main groups of people you will find at GDC are game developers and game journalists. And this woman was introduced to someone, and he said, "Great, where do you work?" And she said the name of a gaming website. And his immediate question was, "Oh, do you do community management for them?" And she was understandably upset by that, because that is insulting and diminishing. She relates this story to a colleague of mine, and he says, "Well, I don't understand why she's so upset." Like, well, with these two main groups of people, bro, he skipped over both of them and went to community management. Why do you think he did that? And then he sat and thought about it and went, oh, now I get it. Now I get why that was hurtful. So, easy to assume dude was just being an insensitive prick, but just had not had the thought process yet pointed out to him. that is my way of suggesting we all collectively move forward as a group.
Assume good intent. Good intent.
Yes, until proven otherwise.
Thank you, that's very good.
Assume good intent is the short answer to that.
Oh yeah, I just want to say, for me, I think the key is really, it's a weird phrase, but like each one teach one. So kind of like mentorship. So just like any one of us on the panel would be like an excellent person to talk to, or even someone just in a similar facet that can kind of lead you to where you want to go. But just don't forget to kind of pay it forward. So like if you end up in a great position or somebody really noteworthy, don't forget where you come from, where your roots. See something in someone, and just kind of lend them your advice. That's a good way to go.
I would also like to jump off of that. The idea that positivity can take some hard work. Sometimes it's really easy to just get angry at people and say, I don't agree with this, I don't understand where you're coming from, I don't like this. It actually takes a lot more work to be like, okay, so we can agree to disagree. Let's talk about why these things are happening or why they're not happening and how we can find a mutual understanding. Because the biggest part about being in the industry is like it's so easy to rage. It's so easy to rage against people. But it takes a lot more work to be like, listen, dude, bro, 42069 at yahoo.com. I understand where you're coming from, but this is where I'm understanding. I'm willing to hash it out with you. Let's figure this out and bring it to a mutual place of understanding. Because I'm sorry, no offense to anyone, anywhere out there. We all get mad and emotion is real, but you have to also learn how to compose yourself and realize that we're putting things out there that people will bounce back, and it goes around and it echoes. I mean, I'm echoing right now. It's just important to be positive. Share your experience, believe in what you're doing, and sometimes you'll get down, but the biggest thing is to pick yourself back up again. We're all here to help you, and especially as a female, you can be angry, but also come at it in full circle. Don't just get stuck in being angry. Find a way to move forward and say, I learned something from this.
And to bounce off that really quick, I actually learned a very important lesson from Susan over here. I went through a tough time. I was in a dark place, I was getting angry all the time, and I was vocalizing it too much, and Susan taught me something really important, and it's if you ever feel like you're angry or just upset about something, instead of vocalizing that you're incredibly angry and upset about it, do something positive. If you feel like frowning, smile. If you want to tweet about how someone pissed you off today, don't. And tweet about the person that made you smile today. So really it's hard. When you're emotional, it's hard to make positive out of negative, but it's possible. Take all that negativity in and just go, okay, if I just reiterate all this negativity, all it's going to do is it's going to echo, it's going to make me look way more negative than I really am. And what's the point of spreading negativity? We want to all be positive. We all want to be equal in this industry and loved and be able to hold hands and frolic and dance around PAX together. So when you want to frown, smile, and when you want to be angry, don't, and think about the person that made you smile today.
Because again, the point of this is spreading positivity in the gaming industry. And gaming, I should also put on a side note, does not just include video games. It includes board games, 20-sided for life. So it could be anything. It could be any of those. It's just the play.
No matter what it is, just let your passion shine through, because that's where the good feelings come from. Like if I'm, working on a 3,000-word article about a game I love, it just kind of comes naturally. Like, if I see a bunch of editors I respect on Twitter, talking to each other, I'm just like, oh yeah, I want to be like them, and I, just let what you love shine through. It is kind of, you will see people say, professional people in this industry say things like, well, if you like this game, you don't know anything about video games, or if you write like this, you have no future, and everyone's gonna have a different opinion, but just remember what you are passionate about, remember why you're doing this. And one more thing I always want to say, and Susan has told me this many, many times, editors talk, they all talk. Be respectful, whether you've gotten rejected for a pitch, whether your first assignment has come back with a million edits. Be professional and be respectful, and just know that it's going to make you a better person, a better writer, you know. But don't say like, oh, well, I pitched this to, you know, Joystick, and they said it was really terrible, so I told them to F off, and now I'm going to go pitch it to Kotaku. No, you're not, because those editors have already heard about what a jerk you were.
Oh, you can go ahead and pitch it. But we all talk.
I just want to throw in real quick. This kind of goes for like everyone. I know there are a lot of people out there who are sometimes embarrassed or feel like they can't let their nerd flag shine. I work in a professional environment where my day job doesn't allow me to really talk about that sometimes. And I get people who will come up to me and be like, I didn't even know video game journalists existed. So, to all those people who are afraid, let your freaking nerd flag shine. You can be proud of your hobbies and who you are and enjoy it. If you like a game that no one else likes, it doesn't matter. Love it. Share your passion. Be yourself.
I think something that Susan, I think you said it when a couple weeks ago, said we have to accept the fact that there will always be assholes wherever you go, and that it's okay. Like, just ignore them and just do your thing. But
yeah, it's the 80-10-10. This is actually a sales thing. 8%, 10%, 10%. 10% of people will buy whatever you're selling no matter what. 10% of people will never buy what you're selling, no matter what. So what you gotta care about is the other 80%, right? 10% of people will always support you, no matter what, because women are great. 10% of people always gonna hate you because fuck women, right? It's the other 80% we gotta work on.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we good. Let's go. 15.
See? That's what I'm saying.
No, we're on time. Woo! This time we're going to open up for Q&A.
Run to the mic, run.
We got John coming over here with the microphone.
Yes.
Maybe you guys want to line up.
Yeah, queue up.
Queue on up. Ooh, some cosplay. Yes. Yes, Lord.
I do love me some good cosplay. I saw some Shell cosplay yesterday. Shell from Dragon Age. It was baller. It was so good.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Hey,
Hi.
hello. I work for Collector's Corner, which is a comic book and gaming store based out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Love it.
I have a problem a lot of times when I'm networking, especially at conventions like this. I've run into New York Comic Con, Baltimore Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con. The question always comes up, am I being friendly or am I being flirty? And the problem I have a lot at work is I'm trained in retail. I have the smile pasted on my face. I'm going to sell you whatever comic book you want to read.
Yep.
The problem is that I get guys going, you're beautiful, why don't you smile? Oh, you were flirting with me. No, I'm going to sell you a book that has tits on it.
Yep.
Just buy the book and leave. So how do you guys deal with that really fine line between, am I being too nice or do I need to network harder?
It's all in your confidence, you know. I mean, I'm not saying that you're not confident. I can speak English. But I mean, you know, when I first started networking, I was really scared. And I was also putting off like the too flirty thing. Like I'd sit there and be like, hi. I mean, I came from 7 years of retail, so I totally get it. You want whatever I'm selling? Great, give me your money, let's go. It's really the way you carry yourself, the way like your body language is, and just how you can just really, you know, make yourself like, hey, I'm here because I want to be here. I love what's going on here. And I'm going to listen to you and we're going to talk and we're going to have a great freaking conversation and it's going to be awesome. It's really just, don't hold back on your opinions or anything. Just really, I guess, network harder. But I mean, not in a negative way. Like, just
Fuck
really.
them.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Look, I don't care if you show up in a nun's habit. There are going to be guys who are like, well, you were flirting with me because you didn't immediately shut me down and tell me to go fuck myself.
And girl, you were there to work.
Yeah, no, work.
You
Fuck
are
them.
there to
If they
work.
think you're flirting, that's a dumb problem, not a you problem.
You're just trying to do your job, alright? So,
know, be proud of who you are. Don't let anyone.
I would not worry about changing your demeanor or your behavior. Be friendly, be communicative. I would suggest be conscious of things like doing a shoulder touch or something like that. If you shake hands, don't do the two-hand shake because that is often misinterpreted. Be aware of that kind of physical space. Other than that, just do you.
Amen. Really quick, these are our email addresses and our Twitter. We're very active on Twitter, so you know, follow us and say hi, okay? And you can come up later and I'll give you my card.
I like hugs. I hug you if you really want to.
Well, lightning round, Q&A, that's what I'm here.
I'm in a very slim majority. I feel like I am like the only female game composer that I know. And like they're awesome. Thank you. They're awesome people.
It is like mostly dudes. Yeah.
I went to this panel last night, and I was like, I'm the only girl here who wants to do sound design and game composing.
Awesome.
So do you know of any networks I can join? I know of Code Liberation in New York, where I'm from, but any support groups, networks. Well, New Jersey, New York. I'm right outside here. So, are there any website networks, anything I can join to maybe meet other
Give me your card.
Okay.
All right. We'll talk later. Right?
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, I have a few friends who are also involved in the MagFest scene. Totally come and talk to us. Absolutely.
Just give us all your card. I know some sound engineers too. So
oh, yes. Yeah. I got many cards. But yeah.
Also, someone's got to be first.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, well, before my question, I just wanted to comment that I had the shoe issue, and I decided to wear sneakers because, well, they're more comfortable with my shoes.
Still cute. They're cute though.
Thank you.
Yes.
My question, Tatiana, right?
Yes.
I'm also from California. I'm from NorCal.
Where in NorCal are you from?
Sacramento.
Oh, I live in Hayward, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I was actually going to ask you about the gamer meetups. I'm pretty new in the industry, wanting to get into it. Mm-hmm. So, is there anywhere I can go to look for them?
What, how old are you? I know this is
26.
How old are you?
26.
Okay, so there's a lot of things in the city that go on. They're called the pocket gamer meetups, and they're mixers. There will be alcohol present, which is why I asked that question. But they have lots of different people. There's people from 2K that show up, people from gaming journalism outlets and stuff. Anywhere. One of my really good friends works for a company that makes stuff where you code for one mobile device and it exports the code to others. So we go to these events together and we get to meet all these cool different people. And I would be more than happy to send you an email with these events and stuff. But they're mostly in the city as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing really close to Sacramento, which kind of sucks. I know Sacramento is it's totally its own thing, but if you're willing to come down to the Bay Area and the East Bay even, there's plenty of stuff that goes on at least once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks. But no, if you stick around, I'll give you my card and just send me an email. I'll definitely keep you posted with all those events.
All right, cool, thanks.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Ripping up this really fast. When you're at events, there will often be alcohol. I strongly recommend seltzer with lime. It looks like a drink, so people won't be like, oh, why aren't you drinking? Can I get you a drink? But it's not. You'll stay sober and even-headed all night.
To go off that, for people who don't drink, and there are some of them, that's a great way for people to not.
Because you will get pressure.
Yeah, because you're going to get so pressured to drink.
Yeah.
Hi, Tatiana.
Hi.
Nice to see you again. When do you walk away from something, a bad situation or whatnot, keeping it positive? That's my question.
When do you walk away?
Yeah, when do you walk away from a bad scene? You were talking about, people are going to troll you. How do you walk away and be like, oh, I'm a professional, nice to meet you, nice to interact with you, but I'm going to walk away?
At the point at which it is starting to hurt you more than you feel there is potential.
Okay.
Walk. Take care of yourself. You're this is an analogy I kick out all the time, but it's very helpful. You've been on an airplane. You've seen the demo they do. The oxygen mask that drops down and may not inflate. What do they tell you to do? Put it on yourself first, then put it on the person next to you. Always take care of yourself and your emotional state first. The fight is after that.
and find support.
I just wanted to just stand here for a moment and thank you guys, because this was wonderful. I'm a female in the gaming industry, but not the computer game industry. I'm in the tabletop industry.
Yes!
And my question is, can I give you each a flower?
Yes, please. Yes.
So I make games like these little pyramids, and I came to PAX actually to work on figuring out what my digital strategy is going to be. We're working on an app for Pink Hygiens, which is this is the physical version of it. So I'd like to give you a flower.
Thank you. Yes, of course. Yes, thank you very much.
I like yellow. I'm the weirdo that likes yellow. So you want yellow? I'll take my friend.
Is there a purple
I'll take blue or orange.
I'll take the blue. I'll take red. No, yellow.
Oh, he's got a smiley face, guys. Thank you so much.
If you want to ask the question while
this
is great.
Hi.
Oh, wow.
Is that on? Hello? There it is. I'm an attorney here in Boston, a 200-year-old boys club.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted, on the theme of positiveness, I want to comment on something that really helped me in my career. I go to women networking events, and a tip that was given to me in law school that's really helped me out is find a woman, excuse me, in the industry who does kind of what you do, and talk about your job, talk about your salary, open up especially about the salary. And having that, I guess, touch point really helps know what you should expect in the industry. And we also just get together for drinks every month. You know, having that networking on a personal level really helps.
Yeah, you need the sanity check sometimes.
Absolutely.
I have a very specific sisterhood that I will check in with, where I'll be like, okay, am I overreacting to this situation, or is this the most sexist fucking thing you've ever seen in your life? And they would give me reality checks, like, no, you're having a bad day, it really isn't that bad. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
But Susan is like the best for reality checks, by the way. If I ever need something, I'm like, Susan, am I crazy? She's like, yeah, bitch, you crazy.
Yeah. I deliver like RuPaul levels of truth bomb.
Hello, how are you? I run a female gaming website called Girl Gamer Vogue. One of my writers is here as well.
Wait, I'm sorry, it's called what?
Girl Gamer Vogue. I'm gonna give you it mixes like video game psychology, video game culture, and video game fashion. And it's pretty much heaven for women. But we've been running it for 2 years, and something that we always seem to hit is that we get people who want to get involved, who want to sponsor us, or who want to like help us out, and they end up either bailing on us, or like last year we got help from a place. I'm not going to say who, but we got help, and they were going to offer us space and whatnot on their website. We generated 800,000 views for them because of Comic-Con and PAX last year, and they pulled the plug on us, and they took all the ad revenues and won us, and they left us high and dry. We had to close down our website because we couldn't be able to pay for it. So in situations like that, where we're offered these opportunities, what are something we can do to prevent our websites, and like our dignity and what we've worked so hard to do?
Okay, the business of running a site, and I do mean the business, is very much dollars and cents.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, like, if you do not have any kind of business acumen, get someone that you can talk to about it and run these things by them. Assume, this is the one time I'm going to tell you to go against my rule, assume someone offering you a deal is looking to screw you. Because they are saying to themselves, what is in this for me?
I personally started my site, and I said to myself, okay, I don't know jack about what it takes to run a business.
Yeah.
So my ass is going to school, and I went to school and I have my MFA. So, or my MBA. So it's like, so I went and I educated myself, and that's what's important. You gotta educate yourself, and you gotta find again that group of people that can help you out, because that's messed.
It is very tempting to take those offers, because you're like, and then we will go to the next level, and most people could not give a fuck about you going to the next level. They are just looking to use you for whatever they need you for. And I am very sorry to have to tell you that is truth, but that is truth. Like the living the dream part, that's easy. The running of the business part is where you gotta be like, oh right, most people suck.
Yeah. Seriously. Talk to us later then, okay? Thanks. Hi.
Hi. So, thank you, first of all, for doing this panel. I feel like I have a lot more in common with you. And I really appreciate having this voice, at a gamer convention. Kind of on that same theme, though, I would like if you could share with me something that I feel happens to me a lot. So I get the nerd check all the time. And it is.
Wait, I'm sorry. What do you mean?
It's a combination.
Fake gamer girl. That.
Yeah, the fake gamer girl thing. So last year at Comic-Con, no, it wasn't Comic-Con. At another gamer convention, someone just pointed at me, just randomly, "Hey, Paragon or Renegade?" And I was like, "What the heck?" I had to think for a minute. I'm like, "Oh wait, I'm wearing my Mass Effect jacket." He's checking to see if I played the game. And if I played the game, did I play it Renegade or did I play it
You don't know
Paragon?
that. He may have actually just been trying to connect with you because he loves Mass Effect too, and he's trying to start a conversation.
I wear my Mass Effect gear all the time, and it happens. And sometimes there will be like
check because literally we were in line and we were walking and we were all going in and he just pointed at me and that's all he wanted to hear was that I deserved this jacket. So
I absolutely understand the nerd check thing.
I love to hear it because it's a point of pride because I can answer, but it's also kind of a pinprick of pain whenever I can't.
you have to think too, no offense to guys or anything, but sometimes they don't know how to communicate to other girls that also have gaming interests. So you're not exactly, you're not wrong about the assumption, but sometimes, I've met a lot of people, they're now my friends, that just ask me similar questions, like, how many times do you play Mass Effect? And I'm like, why does that matter? And I think this is his way of going, I have something in common with this girl, even if it's just Paragon or Renegade. I have the balls to just ask her this and make that connection.
Yeah. Here's why I want you to ponder, just consider the possibility. I was wearing a Hogwarts shirt in the mall one day. A dude walks by me and says, "Which house?" And I'm like, "Well, Gryffindor, duh." He was not nerd checking me, he was trying to pick me up. But yes, you will get the nerd check thing. If you want to answer or not is entirely up to you. You can't change you can't change their attitude towards you, but you can maybe change their attitude towards the next girl, right? If you answer, well, it depends on the situation, because sometimes you go to do an action and you think it's going to be Paragon and it actually comes up Renegade, and you're like, wow, but I thought, right? And you just blow that shit out of the water. Then maybe next time he assumes you're, fake nerd girl who goes, oh, wait a minute, I'm about to get screwed.
We're going to have one quick thought, May, and then we're going to have to wrap it up, guys. I'm so sorry.
I just want to say I go through the same thing a lot. And at first it was a little offensive because to some extent it could be them reaching out to you, but sometimes it is they're checking you. They want to see your badge so you can really down. I really turned it for me into a positive experience because I love shutting people and stigmas down. I love it. I love it.
When it first started happening to me, I didn't even know that it was a nerd check. I had my guy friends were the ones pointing at it. They're like, you do know they only asked you that because you're a girl.
Well, I wouldn't exactly take their word on it because they're interpreting it too. I would it's just be cognizant and be aware that it might happen, and just always be on your A game. Don't let me see you sweat, girl.
All right, and with that, thank you so much, guys. One last thing before we leave, just remember we have to be supportive to each other. We have to be open to others' ideas. Let's not be on a soapbox. Be open to discussion with others. However, we should not be afraid to talk and express ourselves. Okay? So, spreading positivity in gaming. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Spread positivity. Have a fantastic day, PAX. Yeah, we'll be right